Hi there, welcome to my channel and my very first video tutorial. I'm Angelica Turner. I am a freelance artist and designer. At the moment I have some new paper collections, a couple of new paper collections with available with Elizabeth Craft Designs. And today I want to share with you a quick little vintage inspired tag that I will be making. I will be using pattern paper from the Pretty Pastels collection that I designed. This one released a few weeks ago, I believe at the end of July. And I will also be using some of the new hand-drawn illustrations that released about a week ago or so with Elizabeth Craft Designs. These are by Anya, adorable little vintage inspired illustrations here. So let me show you, let's start with the tag real quick. So the tag, this is the pattern that I started with. It's a soft blue pattern and I wanted to give it a more vintage feel to it so that it will kind of work better with the images. So as you can see here, there's a lot of little detail, and I did all of this ahead of time just because it was sometimes it takes me a little bit of longer to get these backgrounds done, but I'll go over the steps that I took to get this finished piece. So the first thing I did is I got the tag from set number 2055, tag 4 with tags. Tab 4 with tags. As you can see, it has all these little tags, and I stamped the mushrooms, the chess piece right here for the background. This is CS230 rabbit hole, as you can see there. Then I also stamped this little decorative border right here, as well as this decorative window piece. Looks like this one is CS322, far away. So I took those and stamped them in several areas. I did also stamp this big corner piece right here, and then I just touched sections of it in this area as well. I don't know if you can see it, but there's the flower right there, and then there's some of the circular shape with the vines and the flowers. So I stamped all of those, and as well as this right here, the happy piece. This is CS299 happy, and this is from Annette Green. So I stamped all of those with pumice stone distress oxide. Once I stamped them, I did splatter, spritz a little bit with water, and heat dried it with a heat tool. Once that was done, I did pull out my stash of glimmer mist that are angels. I don't know if how many of you still have it. I still have a bunch of them. I really haven't used them much, but hey, this came in handy for this particular project. This one is Fall Breeze. It's a pretty blue with a gold shimmer in it. So as you can see, let me see if the video captures it, but there's that. So once I got that done, I want to go ahead and give it a just kind of a more shading and more distressing. Here I'm using the pumice stone distress ink, and I'm just going to quickly add that shading to my edges of my paper. I have a thing about seeing the white core of the paper. I always kind of ink my edges, and I want more shading. So I'm going to use this brush to give it a better blending. Around the whole edge. I want more of that kind of vintage color on it. Kind of take away some of the more pastel blue and give it a more aged look. I think that looks good right there. Okay. So that is, I think that is good. And I love the gold kind of shimmer from the mist, from the glimmer mist. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. For my images that are going to be the center, the focal point on this tag, I went ahead and I stamped the playing card, the bunny, white rabbit right there, and the mushrooms. Those I stamped them with the archival ink watering can, which is kind of a darker gray. I did not want the color to be just a solid black ink, so I went with a darker gray. I did watercolor these ones. I stamped them on Canson watercolor paper. Let's see, 140 pound watercolor paper, and just watercolored them with my Peerless watercolors. I don't know if you know, Peerless comes in these sheets of watercolor paper or watercolor paint, and I just cut 1-inch little squares of each color, glue them on this little page protector little album, and then I inserted my little printout with each name, and then just the color, the swatch color. So I did that for all my Peerless colors, and it's a little handy swatch book there. I went ahead and watercolor everything, but for these pieces, same thing. I want a little bit more of that aged look. I don't want a what is it, just a white, that bright white color. So I'm just going to give them a more that age finish with the distress ink. And then I'm just gonna blend some of that ink over into the picture a little bit from the edge. Again, just take some of that bright white of the watercolor paper. And as you can see, I didn't add a lot of watercoloring to the stamped image. Just kind of watercolored the dress a little bit, the hair, the teapots, just to add a little bit of color to that. And then here we have the mushrooms. I'm going to add as well a little bit of that distress ink to the edges to get rid of that bright white of the of the watercolor paper. Okay, and same thing with the white rabbit, which I think came out more grayish than anything, but hey, it works. So here, again, just kind of getting rid of those white, bright white edges. Okay, so those are my pieces right there. And then I have this little leaves that I want to incorporate into the piece. So I am going to add the distress ink as well to tone down the pastel color of the pattern paper. And I love that it's so easy to just die cut the piece from pattern paper. You have a nice color and a really cool pattern or design on the leaf, and then you can just either shade them a little bit on the edges, add a little bit of color to them if you want extra coloring, or just leave them as is right out of the pattern paper. Again, no precision here or anything like that. I just wanna give them a more kind of a vintagey finish. Okay, so now here I have my little piece for the tag. Again, just kind of giving it that, and then my little banner. So, see, almost finished here. Now for this little banner, I had the idea that I wanted the word dream on it, or, you know, a letter on each little section of the banner. So I was going through all my dies and was having a hard time finding the set of dies that could fit the banner itself. So I did find a set. It's not from, let me get that die. So this is a 2008 2008 Planner Essentials 56 tickets and tabs from Esther. And it has all the months in here that you can die cut for your planner. So I took the word, let me see, December and February, and die cut those, and I got all these little letters. So these are the letters that I needed to make the word dream. I did cut them twice, so I'm going to go ahead and glue those together. I wanted them a little bit just thicker than just the one layer, so I cut them twice to layer them together. I'm sitting on paper over here, so let's go ahead and get my little tweezers here. And these ones, they're so tiny, but we will get it. So they're supposed to sit like that. Too much glue. And it looks like they will fit really well on the size of the banner. Okay, not too crooked. There we go. Say E. Okay, so dream. Okay, let's see what we got next. We got all the pieces colored, little shaded there. So now let's figure out what kind of layout I wanna do here. So I was thinking about something like that. Then we got little mushrooms here, but I want that chest piece to show a little bit. And then I want our white rabbit right here in the front. Of course, this is going to go over here. Then we got our little banner here, dream. So I think I want that right here. And this one I think I'm going to have to piece it out into a couple different pieces just to kind of cut it apart and place it in different areas here just to finish off the arrangement. And I also had found this kind of a decorative lace, I guess, in my stash, and I was thinking about possibly having it just down here. Just add some of that at the bottom, and as a little kind of a final touch, as well as some let's see, where is it? There we go. Seam binding, hand-dyed seam binding for the top of the tag. So I think that will complete this particular tag here. Let's see. Yeah, I think I like that. I like that layout. Okay, so let's get started here. Go ahead and glue this piece first. And it feels like my okay. So there's that. Then I'm going to go ahead and see where I want these ones to go. I think I like those there. I do want them to be pop some. So adding some glue that's here, and I'm going to put some glue at the bottom because this is going to be the bottom piece, so I don't want it to go there. And then going to have this one again, some dimensional glue dots. I found these. I hadn't used glue dots in a long time, and I found these in one of my drawers where I had adhesives and tapes and all that fun stuff. And I'm like, oh, well, I better get these out of the way, get them used before they go bad or they dry. They're still nice and sticky, so getting them used up. Okay, so there's my little mushrooms. Okay, same thing. I want some dimension on these ones. So some more glue that's here just to get them more dimension. I think that should be it. Okay. I'm going to put it up a little higher so that when I add this border, yeah, there we go. That looks good. And then our little friend here, little white rabbit, can have Alice in Wonderland project without the white rabbit included in it. So here's our white rabbit. There we go. Okay, so our banner. I am going to have this one as well kind of popped a little bit. So for this, I think I need smaller, let's see. Okay, here we go. So I'll use these ones. They'll fit in the back. I do have a tendency of doing everything dimensional. I love adding dimension to my projects, cards, tags, everything. I actually, whenever I do a layout or a scrapbooking layout or a mini album layout, I have a hard time making it flat so it actually fits in my scrapbook or my mini album, so they don't get so fat because of all that dimension. So I find that sometimes hard because I'm so used to doing always dimensional things on my tags and cards. So I think, how's that look? I think that looks cute. Okay, so now these little leaves, let's see, where am I going to place those? I kind of like that one right there. I think that one is a good one. Okay, let's see, where's my scissors? So I'm going to just kind of trim them like that. And that's going to go there. And then I think I'm going to trim this one right here. And I'm going to put this one behind this. And then this one, let's see if it works here. It's got the right there. Okay, and then this one. Right here. Usually I give some dimension to my leaves, and I kind of forgot to do that with this one. So real quick, I'm just going to do it with my fingers like that. Okay. And then my piece over here, probably about that long. Okay, I'm just going to scrunch it up a little bit with my fingers. and get it in place here. Okay, and then this trim, I'm going to try something. I don't know if it's going to work, but I want to give it a little bit of that distress color that I put on throughout my project, the tag, the images, just to kind of take away some of that bright color. There we go. I think that's good. Kind of like that. Okay, so that's that. And I'm just going to put it down with some hot glue. That should do the job. Make sure I'm doing it on the right side. Real quick before it cools down. And it did cool down too fast. Okay. I usually do this with fabric glue, but the fabric glue, I just bought a new brand and it takes forever to dry. So I need to go back to the old brand I had. Okay, let's see if that's working. There we go. I think that will work. Okay, how's that? Get rid of all those icky pieces of hot glue. Put this off to the side over here. And then trim these edges so it looks nice. Okay, it's a little bit more over here. There we go. And right there. I don't want those pieces like flying around. Just okay, so I think that looks good. I like how the colors all came together, how the background, it has that nice aged vintage style that goes well with the hand-drawn images that have that same vintage style. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed my tutorial. I'm not sure how many of those I will be doing, if weekly, monthly. Hope to be able to do some more in the near future. And thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow my channel and hope to be back here soon. Take care. Bye.